Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. You know, Ezra Taylor must be really spitting nails because he was due to fight Lewis Edondson for the British and Commonwealth light heavyweight titles. And Edondson pulled out with an injury. It's legitimate. I don't believe in saying, oh, well, he's not really injured. I mean, we don't know that. I don't see why Edondson would want to duck Taylor. But the person who takes Edmondson's place is a capable fighter. He's taken it at short notice, only about 5-6 days, and that's Steed Woodall. Now, before we have a look at Woodall's resume, let's have a look at Taylor's, because he's got 12 fights, 8 KOs, 12 wins, 8 KOs, no draws, no defeats. He's 31, orthodox fighter from Nottingham, and he's coming off a very good victory over Troy Jones. He won most of the rounds. I think one of the judges had it a whitewash, but a little bit unkind on Jones. But yeah, definitely a wide win for Ezra Taylor over a capable, if unheralded, fighter. I mean, Jones came in, like I say, with what did he come in with? Like 12. He had about 12 wins, I think. I think half of them maybe were by KO. So, and he hadn't really fought anyone, you know, no major names. But then he had beaten Leon Willings, actually, who went the distance with Ben Whittaker. Remember Leon Willings? That was for he won the I think the English light heavyweight title. So he had some ability, or has some ability, Jones, and he's only, I think, about 26, 27. So that was a good win. That was a decent win for Taylor, this was, you know, that earned him this chance against Lewis, but Edondson pulled out. So he takes on Steed Woodall. Steed Woodall, 20 wins with 12 KOs, 3 defeats, 2 by stoppage and a draw. And he's one of those sort of English level, maybe, British level maybe. He did fight for the British title 2 fights ago against Callum Simpson and got wiped out in 2 rounds. That was for the British and Commonwealth super middleweight belts. He's now up to light heavyweight. Maybe he's jumping up to 175 because the opportunity's presented itself. I don't know whether he can still make 168. But he sort of burst onto the scene and got that Callum Simpson fight because he knocked out the previously undefeated Lerrone Richards, knocked him out in 6 rounds. And that was a shocker. That was a real shocker because prior to that, he'd lost to Patrick McCrory over 10. Competitive fight, but I thought McCrory won it. He got a decision over Boris Crichton, who's a good sort of area level operator, very tough man, Crichton. Takes on the good domestic level fighters and normally gives them hell. I don't think he wins many though, but he does have a winning record. So Woodall can fight. He can definitely fight. He's a danger man. He's another orthodox fighter, also 31, same age as Ezra Taylor. But he does have more fights and does have more experience, I would say. And that win over Richards does look good, although the one against Simpson, of course, looks rather poor. Stylistically, these guys, they're quite similar, actually. They are quite similar. Not only are they both orthodox 31-year-olds, but they have a similar-ish style. And they're not a million miles from each other geographically because Woodall is from Birmingham, Taylor's from Nottingham. Maybe that's why the fight was made. But there is that jump up in weight by Woodall to 175, which I suppose poses a question, doesn't it, about is he, I mean, see, when you take on something at short notice, okay, you can keep yourself nice and sharp in the gym and, you know, if you're a professional, professionals should be ready to fight. And he may well, I don't know, but he may well have watched Taylor's career and thought, maybe one day we're going to fight, because a lot of fighters do that. They pay attention to potential opponents. But stylistically, the two guys are pretty much the same in that they both like to come forward. They're both quite upright. I would say Woodall's a bit more jittery with the feet, but they both have a similar offensive style in that they will throw both hands. Neither really throw straight punches. In the case of Taylor, But both throw jabs, by the way. But with Taylor, you get the impression that his jabs are there to sort of measure the big right hand. He loves that overhand right. He does throw left hooks as well, don't get me wrong. And he does, like I say, jab. But the right hand is what he's constantly looking for. And I think his footwork, he's a bit more planted with his feet, but he does go forward. Whereas Woodall, yes, he likes to move forward, but like I say, his footwork's a little bit looser. Is that the word? But he likes both wide punches with both hands as well. And again, he does jab. A lot of these come forward fighters, they neglect the jab. These two guys do jab, but they jab to sort of set up the right hand. It's never a case of I'm going to jab your head off, soften you up, and then lower the boom. It's always a case of I'll jab, I'll find the range, and then, I'll try and get my work done early. And that's kind of how Woodall caught Richards. Richards got a bit sloppy, and the big punch came over, and that was the end of that. Taylor, similar work, he couldn't get rid of Jones over 10, but he does have 8 KOs. I can't say this for certain, but I would say that I bet a lot of those are because of the right hand. I remember when he fought Joel McIntyre. McIntyre he had something left. He was an English champ, wasn't he? 2-time English champ, Joel McIntyre maybe. And he got stopped in the last round. That was the 8th round by Taylor, and Taylor just pinned him in the corner and was letting his hands go. But again, it was the right hand that sort of started the avalanche. And then once he gets you in trouble, those punches will come from both angles. Nice left hook to the body as well on occasion from Taylor. But again, same thing with Woodall. Two-fisted, lets him go when he gets you in trouble. The floodgates open. Now, bearing all this in mind with these similarities, I think it's very difficult to pick a winner, because although we've said that Woodall is taking this fight at late notice and therefore this preparation may not be ideal, don't forget that Taylor was hoping and expecting to fight for the British and Commonwealth titles against Lewis Edondson, and he might be a bit flat. He might not be motivated for this fight. It is over 10 rounds, not 12. I don't think there's a belt on the line, even one of those trinkets that they give away with our beloved ruling bodies. I don't think there's one of those on the line. So he's got to be on his game, because upsets happen. And, Steve Robinson became the WBO featherweight champion by taking a fight at, 24 hours notice or something? And there have been other examples of that as well. People coming in very late and upsetting the apple cart. Having said that, I do slightly favour Taylor. I think this will be an entertaining fight, because they are both come forward, and I think we'll see a bit of a crash bang wallop routine. I think Taylor will. I think his preparation has probably been better, even though Woodall is a substitute. Therefore, his gas tank might have a bit more about it, a bit more depth to the gas tank. He's also a 175 pounder. Natural 175 pounder. Woodall's coming up. The Troy Jones fight was back in May for Taylor, whereas Woodall, I think he had a little journeyman outing of six rounds this year. Actually, the Simpson fight, I think, was in 2025, but very early on, like January, a few weeks into January, early February, maybe. No, I think it was as early as January. But anyway, I'm going to go for Woodall for Ezra Taylor to win the fight. I'm not convinced he stops Woodall, but I think he might stop Woodall. I think, actually, thinking about it, so I'm going to go for an 8th round TKO for Ezra Taylor over Steed Woodall. I think if Woodall had more time to prepare, might be a different story. I'd be picking him to at least last the distance. But I think this is an opportunity that sort of popped up out of a trap door for Steed Woodall. and I don't know. We don't know much about him since that Callum Smith demolition, but he is dangerous. He is a dangerous fighter. So I'm going to go for Taylor to stop Woodall in the 8th round. Okay, but whenever I do these, preview videos, I always say that the most interesting fights, the only ones I'm really interested in making predictions on, are the ones that are difficult to predict. They're the most entertaining ones. So I'm not convinced about this at all, but I'm going to go with it anyway. An 8th round TKO for Ezra Taylor over Steed Woodall. What do you think? Do you have a similar view, or maybe you disagree? Do leave your comments below and tell me why you disagree, who you think is going to win and why. And I'm looking forward to reading your comments as always. But please, if you like this video, hit the like button, because they count them, and no, I still don't know why. And join us. It takes a second to hit that subscribe button. You'll be doing us a favour. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye for now.